Good morning, Oroville. Good morning, the big wide world. This is Krishna Mckenzie bringing you a road back to nature. And this morning we are with one of my very favorite groups who are doing community gardens in Oroville. And this is the Invocation Young Peoples Garden. And I have Oliver with me. I have Gangu and Ayan. I have Sakura and I have Chandani with me. And they have been building, creating gardens for the last, how long has it been now, guys, since you've been doing a garden? Yeah?
A month, maybe? A month and a half?
Yeah, about 6 weeks, no?
Yeah,
You've been
6
doing
weeks.
gardens now. And tell me about how did this thing happen? Like, how did it come about? How did it start?
Krishna told us about how the starting of...
Krishna, who's that? You mean me?
Yes. So you told us about how there was a garden going on and if we wanted to participate.
Right.
And that sounds like fun because then we can always be there. And then before we used to be helping at other gardens, so then it wasn't like as good. Because you always come in the wrong time. Like kind of you come there and it's already started or things have already happened, and this way you're truly involved in what's going on.
And it's really your own garden, no? Yeah. Wasn't one of the main things we said is like no adults, no?
Yeah.
So it's been really like your own adventure. And what about that space? That's outside Ayan's house, no? It's outside your house, no, Ayan? And what was the space looking like in the beginning? Chandani, how was that garden? How was that area?
There was actually nothing there. And then there were just, weeds.
Just weeds, like a lot of weeds.
And kind of like a slope. It was kind of hilly and then a ditch and then uphilly. Kind of looked a bit like a slope, small little hill. Like
Bit sort of abandoned.
Yeah.
All the weeds in the pit. With
Yeah.
The mullus and everything.
Thorns and mullus and all, right. So what was the first thing you guys did?
We had to first decide where we wanted to build our first bed.
First vegetable bed.
Yeah, first bed. And we had to decide which was the best spot. And then we could continue from there. But we first had to decide what bit we were planting on first.
So looking at light, looking at how the soil was and...
Which is the easiest place to plant in. Because you don't want to start clearing a lot of weeds. You want to start making a first bed. Then you can clear the weeds when the plants are growing and everything.
Exactly, get something going quickly, no? And how many beds have you made now?
We have about...
Six, and then like 4 other beds that are abandoned that we picked up and try to help along.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And what have you grown so far? What's growing in the beds?
There's lady's finger, there's
Tapioca,
And lady's
We
finger.
started 2
sweet
bananas.
potato.
two bananas,
Bananas.
papaya,
Loads of amaranth.
There's lots of amaranth.
wild amaranth that we didn't even plant is also there.
So weeds that are edible
Yeah.
are also growing.
Yeah, the one with
Sweet
little white
potato.
flowers.
Sweet potatoes.
And then we transplanted brinjal. There was an old bed that's all abandoned, so we transplanted brinjal from there. There's like loads.
Oh wow. Okay, brinjals.
Probably
And
like 20 brinjals.
have you got portulaca?
Yeah, portulaca and we got corn,
Corn, chicken spinach.
chicken spinach.
Of course, you must.
Yeah, yeah, everywhere is chicken spinach.
And are there any gourds or pumpkins coming up
No, they haven't come up yet,
Well,
but we did
have
plant
one in the
them.
old bed,
in the old bed?
but
Okay,
it's dying.
Yeah,
that's
it's dying.
died off. Okay. How about the radish?
Radish came
still
up
has
a
to
little
come
bit,
up.
but then it didn't.
No, it came up.
It
Yeah,
came
it
up,
came up.
but then it hasn't. Like it's not ready
A
yet.
few more
Yeah.
still have to come
It's
up.
not ready yet. Okay. And what about eating? So what? I think last week there was some
There is
cooking adventure. No, what was that all
loads of
about?
amaranth.
Yeah, a huge bundle of amaranth and some chicken spinach and little bits of this and that we used to put in. We kind of made a big spinach dish.
And
then
how
we-
did you make that? What was the cooking procedure?
Like we used a lot of onions because onions really bring out kind of nice crunchy flavor in the.
Onions.
So onions,
Garlic.
a garlic. So basically, we used like 3 onions and a whole garlic.
And then you threw in the spinach.
Yeah, and then just stirred it around. It became kind
And
of
what did
soft.
you eat it with?
With chapati.
Chapati. And it was good?
Very
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So that's like, I mean, there's this myth, no, when you say, oh, kids, they don't like spinach and kids, they don't like vegetable, but is it true?
No.
No.
Completely not true.
Yeah.
And also you guys grew it, so it's like there's that
better.
sense of it was ours, ownership, no? You feel even more like it's your own thing, no?
Yeah, also it's kind of like after all your work and everything, you've been rewarded with food, and then it'll get better and better as you go along because more food will come.
More
and then
diversity,
more
different
diversity,
things,
more
no?
beds.
That's beautiful.
I can only grow basically.
That's beautiful. I actually did get to eat that spinach, and it was amazing. And I think you didn't even use all of it, no? You cooked that
No, we
evening?
used less than half, and it was amazing. We all ate from it. There was like 7 people ate from that.
And then the next day we cooked it again, and I think another 8 to 10 people
10
ate
people
from
ate,
it.
yeah.
And then we even had it for breakfast. Channing and me, we cooked some more of it for breakfast. So I think it fed about more than 20 people.
And that was one harvest after 6 weeks, and then it'll sprout back. It'll come back. We just take the tops off, and it'll grow back, and then have even
And
more.
4 times more, basically.
It's amazing. It's like abundance, no?
Yeah.
So imagine in Oroville, like people like you guys. I mean,
Every
you don't.
community
Huh?
had it. If every community had it.
Every community. I mean, you don't have any very. It's not like you've done some sort of PhD degree to do this. No, it's quite simple thing that you've done.
Yeah.
But how it's come because you've been dedicated to it. No?
Yeah.
Like how many times a week do you meet?
enthusiastic. We meet
Twice
a
It
week.
used to be 3 times.
It used to be
but,
3 times, but now we're doing twice a week, Monday,
Twice.
Friday.
And that you're doing. Of course, you must be watering, and what else you're doing? In those
Yeah,
times?
we have watering and mulching on Wednesdays, and then we do watering, mulching, and other planting and digging and weeding and whatever we need to do on Monday and Friday. Just the Wednesdays are just ordinary watering and mulching to keep the plants healthy.
Right.
And sometimes we go collect compost
Okay. So you
in Sharanga.
have various tasks. Oh, Sharanga's giving you free. Mirabel has the horses, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
horses.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
really nice. So is it like a sharing within the community to help
Yeah,
make it
so we
happen?
get the stuff from there, and then we wheelbarrow it back over to Invocation, and then we start we could put all our compost into one pile and cover leaves over it, so it'll break down. We can make our own compost.
Wow, it's amazing. So I really have this vision of like every community in Oroville eating that like once a week. Imagine, say, we're in Oroville, we're like 2,500, 3,000 people. Imagine every community has that and everyone eats because 5 of you grew that food. 5 or 6 of you grew that food.
Yeah.
I think your brother is also there, no, in that group. And so it's
Yes.
5 or 6 of you growing that food, but more than 20 people ate it. So that's like, that's like amazing. So again, imagine every community did that and we addressed one meal every week only from spinaches.
Like even Solar Kitchen could start serving it.
They could if they wanted to. It's I wonder why people aren't doing this. Like, why do you think that people aren't already doing this in Oroville?
Maybe they haven't thought of
don't
it.
have the thought, or they don't care. I don't know.
They don't care enough.
Or then
So-
maybe they don't think it'll be as good as it sounds.
So they have maybe a doubt about its quality or something like
Its
that.
quality, its time, the way it'll grow. Because in the beginning, gardens don't look like they're gonna go very far. But then after a bit, they look like they can go extremely far. But that beginning stage, you just have to battle through, and then you're good.
You have
But
to have some faith, no?
Yeah, exactly.
I think some of the residents in Invocation also had some doubts about whether the gardens, they look nice, no? But actually, if you give it time, and you see then the lady's finger has the flowers, and this plant has these beautiful shape and big leaves, I mean,
it's great.
Yeah.
it's
Also,
beautiful.
Also, people, I don't know, they think I don't have to give this much effort into growing food. So then they think, because there are all these other people which will be against it and all of that, so they think I'm not going to be able to do this.
And also
Right.
maybe people just think it's easy to get food from like PTDC or the other places. They
Or
think-
shops. Yes, it means like the coin sort of has defined our relationship with food. So how much money you have in your pocket is actually reflects on the sort of food. So if you're a bit poor, you're going to eat cheap rice, cheap this, cheap that, rubbishy foods. And if
Yeah.
you're a bit richer, you might have organic pasta and organic oil and organic this and that, you know.
Yeah.
So this is outside of that, actually. This is not to do with the coin defining your food. This is
Yes.
this is defined by your relationship with the land and the amount of energy that your
Yeah.
involvement with it.
That's good. Wealth shouldn't relate to how healthy you are. You should be healthy, and then you can be wealthy.
Yeah, our health is our wealth, not
Exactly.
our wealth is our health.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's a very nice point. Yeah. And do you think that there are other, like we talked about nutritional benefit now? I mean, of course, this would save people money actually on the long run as well, wouldn't it? You wouldn't have to buy a motorbike or a bicycle to cycle to a shop, to go to a shop to buy foods.
In plastic
and
wrapping and everything.
Plastic wrapping.
And then
All the food miles.
all
is
The
probably-
food miles, exactly. They've come from another city or another region, and that's come at a cost to the environment. So we're talking about ecological saving, zero reduction of a carbon footprint. That we've talked about all that in the past. Now we're talking about economic saving. We're talking about health saving. What other benefits do you think these gardens have had for you guys in particular?
I mean, you can say we had social benefits, like you learn how to work together in a proper way, because the more you work together, the more you figure out how to actually work together.
Right.
I guess I would also say physical benefits.
Physical,
Yeah,
because you're like
physical
working your body, no?
Yeah.
But the social benefit, I mean, the physical benefit is like, that's pretty awesome. But the social benefit is very interesting because it's not obvious to people, no?
Yeah.
The trust and the companionship and the cooperation that you guys have learnt together, or it's still emerging, no? It's evolving.
Yeah.
That like someone from outside, they say, oh, what are you guys doing, you know? What's all happening? Oh, you're playing around in the mud. But they can't see the more deeper things that what you've just expressed, no?
Yeah, because also if they're not there, if they haven't spent a couple of weeks there, or haven't spent like a couple of hours, a couple of days working on the beds and everything, they don't see the actual benefit, the actual enjoyment, the actual entire structure of what we've been actually
They
doing.
see it
Yeah,
only
because it's
from
also fun.
Huh?
It can be fun.
Exactly. Fun is like, I would say, is the basic thing, no? When it's fun, all the other things will emerge, no?
Exactly.
But the people have a bit of a judgment, no? Somehow they have an
Yes.
opinion about it, and they're not actually, as you say, they haven't actually been there and done it.
So they don't know.
They don't
Yeah.
really know, but yet people come in and say, oh, what's going on here, and blah, 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 blah. And
Also, the thing is, you don't have to do it. You want to do it.
And then when you want to
it's
do
a
something,
huge difference, no?
yeah. And then you work much better. And then also if you work well, the plants will grow well, everything will be so much better.
Beautiful. Sakura, you haven't said anything. What's your feeling about everything? What have you done there? What have you loved about it?
I liked working together, and even though I come only once a week since I have class on Monday, I really like it, and yeah.
I think that working together for me, like, because we've done, all of us, you've helped in other gardens a bit, around Oroville. We've got lots of projects on the go. And for me, I think this social thing and working together is actually really one of the biggest fruits, the biggest harvest we get from this garden. Because when we have that sort of like friendship and sense of community that grows,
Yeah.
we can do anything in Oroville, no? We can really do a lot of things together.
Yeah, and that'll become like kind of a base, a start, right?
It's a foundation.
Because I kind of like the food is extremely important, and everyone will register the fact that food is important, and the more it registers, the more it'll register. Basically, it can only grow after some time. After you get to some stage, it can only grow, because once more people hear about it, they tell more people about it, and then it's huge.
Yeah, and then we start to address the real needs in our society, which is primarily food, no?
Yeah.
And the love for the land, no?
The thing with a garden is you can't just leave it there. You have to always help it, and then it'll help you. 'Cause-
Definitely, right. So it's something, it's a lifestyle. It's something that you live with.
It's
not,
more like a lifetime project rather than just a weekly, monthly.
It's not
yearly
just an
project.
activity that we
Yes.
do once in a while. It's a decision of how you want to live your life. Right. It's beautiful. It's very, very beautiful what you guys are sharing. And Ollie, you are particularly, I know you've followed Nina's work and have got her book, Edible Weeds and Naturally Growing Plants in Oroville. And I noticed when we were together, sometimes you recognize many plants and you have some knowledge about how to use them. You've seen many of those weeds in the garden as well?
Yeah.
Different spinaches and...
Yeah, any random weed that you think, oh, that's just a useless weed, I'll take it out of my garden. You can easily eat it or cook it, and it'll be really good for you.
So nice, so nice.
Plus,
So-
there are also plants that you don't need to eat, but are also good. Like you have plants to bring bees to make everything healthier.
Pollinators.
Pollinators, and so we planted some of those in little circles, just so we have some pollinating for the bees and everything.
And also just beautiful flowers. Like Ayan found that amazing big leafed plant. I mean, it's just beautiful. Why does it all have to have a value according to what we think? Its beauty is enough for justification, no?
Yeah, we shouldn't have any straight, like, certain goal. There's no certain goal. Everything is a goal, basically.
Okay, well, anything else to add, guys? I think that it would be really nice if on Wednesday I'm starting a garden with someone in Prema's place, in Liam's house, and yesterday we started a garden in Alok's place, out by Discipline Farm. And there are many projects going on. I think it would be really nice if if listeners are there and that they are inspired, if other kids especially are inspired to start gardening, they could come and visit your garden, no? On a Monday and a Friday.
Friday, we can talk to them and explain what's happening.
And you could possibly go to their garden and help them start?
Yeah.
Gardens are possible everywhere.
So you guys, can we say that you guys are the youth garden consultants? So people can give you a call and you could be there and go and help people start?
Sounds great, as long as like we're not like too involved in something else. So we'll
As
try and
long as you
help.
have time.
Yeah.
And as long as they serve you some nice juice and cookies. Okay, well, Ayan, Oli, Gangu, Sakura, Chandini, thank you so much for coming and sharing the project you're doing. On a personal note from me, I find it hugely significant, because I think as, people like me, we get older, it's harder as we get older, it's harder for us to change. It's harder for us to
Adjust
start
to the new.
yeah, to recognize, well, hang on, the way we've been living is not good. We should be doing it another way. And to see the young people like you guys really picking it up and making something happening, for me, that's the hope of not only Oroville, but the whole world. So I just feel so happy and that you guys are doing what you're doing. And I hope other kids and people contact you and
We can go help their garden.
go and help them make their gardens grow. Yeah, so Invocation 4:15 to 6, you're there on a Monday, and 4:15 to 6 on a
Friday.
Friday. Okay guys, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.